Developed by Domesticated Ant Games and published by Plug-in Digital, Gravity Circuit is a platformer heavily inspired by the Mega Man franchise. From the visuals and story to the design of levels, characters and combat, Gravity Circuit plays like a giant homage to Mega Man and the iterations it had over the years. In Gravity Circuit, you control an amnesiac red robot named Kai, and much like in Mega Man games, you go through 8 levels that you can pick the order in which to tackle, with a last stage that unlocks after beating them. At first the levels are challenging, but once you get used to Kai's movement and abilities, you start to blast through them, so the game feels a bit easier when compared to some Mega Man titles. There are a few difficulty spikes, but aside from the last stage, they don't really slow you down. The combat in Gravity Circuit is more akin to the Mega Man Zero series, favoring close combat with punches and kicks instead of shooting. Your hookshot works as a ranged weapon as well, but it has limited range. Where it shines is in the capacity to grab defeated enemies before they blow up, or some projectiles, and throw them at their companions, resulting in instant kills if you hit them. There's also burst techniques, powerful moves that consume your energy. These techniques are replications of boss attacks unlocked after defeating them, but instead of automatically acquiring one, after defeating a boss, 2 techniques are unlocked for you to buy in the base. Another shop in the base will sell you boost chips, abilities that are more varied and have more applications than just combat, but the requirement to buy them is rescuing a number of robots in the stages throughout the game. As you save robots, some of them will join you in your base, but they offer very little besides some colorful dialogues. The game also uses a pixel art style to resemble the original Mega Man games, which works well. The music in Gravity Circuit is stellar, with tracks that will get stuck in the head. The composer for this game did an amazing job. Gravity Circuit is overall a great game, and pays a great amount of respect to the Mega Man franchise, particularly the classic X and Zero games. It addresses some of the problems that the franchise accumulated over the years, like being able to run, which is a clear answer to the constant dashing that players had to do in order to clear stages quickly in Mega Man. And having techniques associated with direct inputs is a way of keeping players flowing through stages without having to stop to change to a particular ability. But it still doesn't avoid all the problems. Much like Mega Man, some of the abilities are just more useful than others, but the larger quantity makes some feel even more irrelevant, and some of the abilities trivialize bosses even more than they would in Mega Man. This was my review for Gravity Circuit. If you liked it, leave a comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you around.